my God. And yeah, he kind of just holds it all together. And then drama, just because when I see drama, I see like my dad or like an older version of me. I think he's just the most relatable character on the show. I mean, besides Seinfeld, it's probably like my favorite show of all time.
You know, every time I watch through, I'm always tempted to skip that Mandy Moore story arc because
it's so annoying.
Oh, I just want to smack Vince as hard as I can. It's like, and I mean, I feel like most guys can relate to that situation and have been there. But it doesn't change the fact that you just want to backhand him as hard as you can. You're like, dude, just snap out of it. She's a girl, you know?
Well, dude, and like he like falls in love in like 2 weeks with her. Like, what is he, a Mormon?
Yeah, for real, man.
But they also had James Cameron in those episodes, which was friggin' as Devin Hester.
Yeah.
You know who I really liked was Nick. I mean, you're in the film business, Duck. I know you know this guy, Nick Castavetes.
Oh yeah.
He's badass.
Dude, he's Hollywood royalty. No, he's actually East Coast, New York, like independent film royalty. Like, doesn't get bigger than that. He directed The Notebook. His father was John Cassavetes.
He did The Notebook?
Yes.
What? That's
dude, he's Babe Ruth. Nick Cassavetes is huge.
Yeah, he's whenever I see like episodes with him, I'm just like, man, that guy, like, he's like a head coach that I would want to like run through a wall for. He just, I don't know. Have you ever seen
any films by John Cassavetes?
What are some of the big ones?
The Woman, and then he's got a huge Columbo episode it's a must see. That's probably the easiest one to find. But he did and was the master of like doing free-form filmmaking, where they would just like put loose outline and then just improv with like really great actors, and is really deep.
So for your business, Doug, have you always been more involved in music videos or some feature films as well?
Man, I never thought I would be doing this. And I kind of got into it late in life, sort of. Excuse me. The way I got into it was I had always made my own films and stuff, and would make films on the weekends with college kids and whoever wanted to get involved. And those people started to get jobs. Like, I had my own businesses, I did my own thing, and never thought filmmaking and stuff was going to be like the way I made my living. But it just so happened those other people were super ambitious, and then it's all about connections, just like Entourage. Like, oh, who do we need? Oh, call Chip in South Florida. Boom.
Yeah.
And I did that for like 15, 16 years.
And I know you worked with T.I., didn't you?
I did The Wife's Show, which was Tiny and Toya. I did that series. And I did T.I. and Tiny Family Business.
What's that guy like? Because growing up, he was like one of my favorite rappers.
Dude, he's like Roscoe Parrish. He's like super tiny and super intense.
That's awesome.
Like really, really intense.
That just makes me laugh. I remember because whenever I tweet about T.I., you always told me that you filmed some, and that just the first time you told me, it just blew my mind.
Dude, I was on a jet with him, the wife, and 2 or 3 of the kids. And one of the kids was like 6 and is reading out his Christmas wish list. And it's like, I want an iPad, I want an iPhone 4, I want this. And I go, whoa, iPhone? Like, who you calling? And you're 6 years old. And he looked at me, dude, like I was a piece of trash. Like, look at this old man. Like, sit down.
Awesome. Okay.
Meanwhile, T.I. doesn't even blink. Like, he's doing his thing, and like all this is happening, and he's just super focused. Crazy.
That's awesome. Okay, we got some. Let's just answer these last 2 Canes questions we got on Twitter, and then we'll end it. First one says, because we do these top 5 things every week. First one says, rank the 5 Miami national championships. And Chip, you've seen all of them. Rank the 5 Hurricanes national championships for you.
Yeah, they're it's just reverse order. 83 being the best and 2001 being the least.
Really?
Why is that?
Yeah. Because 83, like, dude, we didn't have a shot. That was Rocky. Like, dude, this is possible. This could never happen.
Yeah.
In 2001, Miami became Apollo Creed and got knocked out by Rocky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a dramatic arc.
No, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, especially
Stallone wrote. Stallone is a Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you look back at 83, they're like Rocky. They don't, they've got like store-bought wrestling shorts. Yeah. And by the time 2001 comes around, dude, they're all stars. Like everybody's coming in, with the big music and this and that, and they just got to get back to thumping.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's every time we talk, it's an emotional roller coaster every time we record, and then by the end of it, I'm just always like, man, yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, I wish, I'm always just commiserating and being nostalgic by the end.
What about you, Jordan? Do you have I know that we weren't really either alive or old enough to appreciate those years, but do you have a favorite or a least favorite national championship?
Yeah, I just have to pick 2001 just because it's the only year that I saw any games. And that's not to disrespect any of the other teams. It just, I'd be talking out of my rear end a little bit if I was preaching for a different year, just because, I've watched most of those 2001 games, at least whether it was back then or since then. I've seen pretty much the whole season and, watched the players growing up. So that has to be my favorite year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But and I've been able to study this program a little bit. 1983 was obviously incredible. To lose your first game to Florida, and then with a freshman Bernie Kosar lead your team to that incredible upset against Nebraska. And just like Chip said, they were nobody. 4 years before that, they were losing to FAMU. Yep. They were literally nobody, and then obviously 2001. I love 1987 just because I'm a huge Jimmy Johnson fan. He's my guy because I'm a Cowboys fan as well. And then 89 and 91, Erickson's more of a quiet guy, but there's they're all great. We got the crystal ball for all of them. And then this next question is they just wanted to ask our opinions on these player battles. First one is Mark Pope against Jeremiah Payton. Who do you guys got?
Give me Peyton. I can't even tell you why. Just give me Peyton. What about you, Chip?
I have no idea. The receivers are the worst. Receivers are like the biggest doofuses on the team.
Oh man, like I said, you're betting against the guy who's either take the guy who hasn't lived up to what we thought he'd be, or the guy that you've never seen play before. So I'll go with the guy I've never seen.
Yeah. Pope. Yeah, everyone knows my feelings on Pope. I'm very skeptical. I love Jeremiah Payton's range as a receiver. I'm just waiting for him to be put into the game. Okay, and then the next is Don Chaney versus Jalen Knighton. You already know my answer, but
for this year, 100% Jalen Knighton, and we'll see what happens with Don Chaney in the future, but injury's really going to set him back, and then I think Knighton is much more of a role player. I think Chaney's game is going to be the first and second down between the tackles, at least much more than Knighton. Whereas I think Knighton will get some burn on coming out of the backfield, catching some passes, more of a utility Swiss Army knife kind of guy.
Yeah, you already know my answer. I love Jalen Knighton. I love his skill set. I think it's a lot more applicable to a Rhett Lashley offense. Don Chaney played in a wishbone style in high school, and so I think it's going to be easier for Jalen Knighton, especially now that he's held. Obviously we don't have spring football going on, but just Jalen Knighton being healthy right now and learning the playbook and going through some of the plays on his own, I think that's going to be huge. I love Don Chaney as a running back. I mean, there's a reason why he was the number one guy in the state of Florida, but Knighton's speed is kind of like Hester's speed. 40 time, it may not jump out at you, but there's something about football speed when you're in the open field and just nobody can catch you. Kind of like Jerry Rice. I mean, the guy ran probably like a 4.6 or 4.7, but when he was on the football field, no one can touch him.
That's all that matters, man. That's kind of how I felt about Duke. Like, his numbers were never blazing in the 40 time, but he just had something. And same with Lamar Miller. Those guys just, when they got into open field, it was good luck,
Exactly. Well, hey, boys, I got nothing else. You guys got anything else?
I got nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's I guess that's it for a good pod then.
Yeah, great show. Thanks again for Lavon coming on. And Chip, thanks again for you coming on, man. We got to have you on more.
I liked it. Good times.
Oh, wait, I do got one thing. So we were talking about Entourage. I thought this was a fun piece of trivia for you guys. It'll probably give you a good laugh. So regarding the Johnny Drama character, I've read on IMDb trivia that so the person that it was based after is like Mark Wahlberg's cousin or uncle or something. And so that dude that the character's based on auditioned for the part of Johnny Drama and didn't get it. The most Johnny Drama thing on the planet.
Right.
That's actually pretty damn funny.
Yeah, that is, I mean, par for the course. They nailed the character then. So, anyway, that's all I got.
Good deal. Well, hey, I know you and I are recording again tomorrow, Jordan. Got some good guests coming on, and Chip, whenever you want to come on, we appreciate you and appreciate your support, bro.
Awesome. Thanks for calling, Jordan.
Of course.
Good diversion. Give people something to listen to.
Yeah, and then I mean, do you have anything going? Are you still doing film stuff or music videos? Do you have anything you want to plug before you take off?
Well, no, we kind of got halted now. I'm doing this documentary for the this whole sewage thing.
Yeah.
Which is like just horrible in Fort Lauderdale. And it's going to be like a hybrid type crazy thing, part horror film, part environmental disaster. But we've kind of gotten stuck here because I'm not going near that. They're still breaking.
Yeah.
One broke like 3 days ago.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, I mean, anything that you ever want us to retweet or help you spread the word or whatever, just let us know. And I mean, you got our audience. So.
Well, dude, I wanted to congratulate you for the previous show for winning. You won out of all the Canes and South Florida or Florida football podcasts. You won that week with the John. What's his name? John Michael.
John Michaels, yeah.
John Michael, Ryan, and James. Dude, you had the best guest. That was the best podcast of the week by far.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
We had some great guests. We were very fortunate to have such a good lineup with us.
And that's not because I got name dropped like 25 times neither. You could take everything that was said about me out.
That show was almost dedicated to you.
Yeah.
Like I was in the title.
Yeah, I called it. That was me that came up with the title. I James was talking a lot about you and your ideology. I coined it the gospel of duck.
Well, he gets it too, and they just got to get better. That's all.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this is what I said, man. We always end it just like, man, I don't know. We just got to win,
That's what it all comes down to. I can't take another season like we just had. But, hey, boys, good episode. Go Canes as always.
Hey, go
Canes.
This has been the Fours Up Podcast. Remember to like and leave a comment to help our podcast grow. Follow me on Twitter at Hurricanes Marsh.